I've been on a huge arcade kick lately, and I kept hearing about this one called Round 1 Arcade. It's a Japanese style arcade that's really known for its claw machines and its UFO style claw machines. They also have a ton of games and bowling in there. I had never been before, I think once or twice just passing through, and the only thing I noticed while walking through was that it looked very expensive from what I could see. But now that I'm on an arcade kick, I've come to terms with the fact that when you go to arcades, it's going to get expensive, even if you're figuring out which games have good payouts and what the dollar to ticket or dollar to credit ratio is, and how many tickets you can get and what prizes I love running the numbers and trying to challenge myself with stuff like that and trying to make profits and whatnot. So with all of that being said, I know it's still going to get expensive at times, so we decided to come up here anyway. I really wanted to check it out, and I've been really into claw machines lately, so I said, let's go, let's see what this place is all about. And right when we walked through, got there right nice and early when they opened, maybe a half hour after they opened, it was just stacked with crazy cool games. They had pretty much everything you could imagine. I don't think they had Pop the Lock. I think that's the only game they were missing. They basically had everything else, almost everything else. The aesthetic was crazy. It was just the quintessential arcade look, just the colors flashing everywhere. It was just like an enormous kids casino, and it was beautiful. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. All the claw machines when we get to that part, like these are just all the ticket redemption games, some of which like that coconut one I've never seen before. But to have all those cool ticket redemption games plus a mix of really cool Japanese inspired UFO type claw machines and regular claw machines, I just wanted to see what I could do. They got some games here where you have to basically just pick up a dice shaped block or a six-sided block, and it has a smiley face on one of the sides, and you just have to get it to land on that, and that seems like a money eater. And I know most of the claw machines, although the prizes are absolutely adorable, most of them are on a payout rate, so they're not gonna be as easy to get until you put enough money in there, and every time you put money into the machine, the claw gets a little bit stronger, or so they say. But at some point, once it has enough money, it will be ready to be strong enough to actually grab the plushie that you're going for and give it to you. I'm not sure if it gets stronger every time or if it stays weak until it hits a certain payout point, but regardless, you gotta put some dough in there to win most of the time. I see people win on TikTok and stuff and on YouTube going to this arcade and winning stuff, especially those mini claw machines. I've seen people just kind of go in there and win, like clear them out, and I was like, all right, those should be some guarantees. And I started running the numbers for how much everything would cost, and came to the conclusion that if you spend $110 plus $2 for the card activation fee, if you need to do that, for 777 tokens, that comes out to 6.93 tokens per dollar you spend. So about 7 credits for every dollar that you spend. Most of the claw machines cost about 14 for the big ones. So if you're playing a big claw machine like these or one of the UFO ones, most of the time it's $2 a play, which is pretty pricey. Sometimes you could find at other arcades or just walking around through malls and stuff, arcade machines that are $2 a play or 3 for 5. These are straight $2 a play, unless you find some of them are 8 credits for the medium sized one, so that's a little over $1 a play, and some of them are 10, so that's even more over $1, maybe closer to $1.50. But no matter about that, we are here to spend $110 and see how much damage we could do. The goal for me really was to try to win some claw machines, play some machines that I've never played before, like the UFO style claw machines and stuff, see if they were winnable like people online said, see if I could learn the tricks that people show online, how to win them, and hopefully just win some cool plushies that you don't really see anywhere else. So I was very excited to try all those, and my other objective, if they had my favorite machine, if you guys follow me on TikTok or Instagram, you'll see that I post often about the flying tickets machine, and They had it. Okay, there's just a little glimpse of it, and there's a Yoshi and a claw machine. But all right, here's a babbling story. So this is the first time in my life of actively playing this game that I saw the jackpot set to 1,000 tickets. Where I play at Dave and Buster's, the bonus is 250. There's another local arcade where it's 500. That seems to be really good. I've seen people have it set at 1,000 in some of their videos, and I thought I will never see that. The year is 2024. That would be ridiculous. And while going through the prize redemption area, 1,000 tickets here at round one will go a pretty long way. It says B81 for 1,000. My high score at the Dave and Buster's next to me, I set the all-time high score at 474. I recently set the all-time high score at another arcade close to me at like 3 something, because you could change the settings and the difficulty of when the game starts to get very hard, so it's never going to be the same at every arcade. It's usually always going to vary, but I figured 81, that is cake. This is going to be easy. This is my first time playing it here at round one, and spoiler alert, I am going to hit the jackpot. Fantastic. And then I go on to play it again, so now I'm like, alright, this costs about $1.10, $1.20 a play, but for 1,000 tickets, I'm going to sit here. Every time you hit the jackpot, the number to beat only goes up by 20, no matter how much you get. So if I get 200 right now, that 81 is only going to go up to 101, and then on the next play, if I get 103, it's only going to go up to 121. It always goes up in increments of 20, which is fantastic, because it could be at 80, you could get 400, and it only goes up to 100. So right off the rip, we get 1,000 tickets. That's fantastic. I'm ecstatic. I think this is going to be the most broken arcade experience of my life. I end up getting it again, and here's when the tangent comes in, because the plan was to play this game until I ran that target number up to as high as I could possibly get it and get as many jackpots as I could. The number I came up with in my head, considering you get a ticket for every point that you get while playing as well, I figured I'd probably get to about 20,000 tickets, which seemed like unreal, and I'd still have like plenty, maybe like 50 to 75% of my total tokens that I'd have on my card that I could still play claw machines and other games with. So this was going to be amazing, except I mean, this wasn't my second play when I hit the jackpot again. It was probably my third or fourth, because I, got to shake the rust off a little bit, get the nervesies out. And, but then on like my fifth or sixth play, the game started acting kind of wonky. It was freezing at points, which I'd really never seen it do before. My friend was playing on a machine right next to me, and I literally watched my machine like freeze and then skip to where it was supposed to be. Somehow I didn't die, and I'm pretty sure this is the game where I actually got the jackpot again. But it was acting funny. At one point, I hit the button and it didn't respond, which killed me, and I was like, alright, this is not cheap, this is not like half price Wednesdays at Dave & Buster's where it's like 50 cents, and if, I don't know, something weird happens, or if I just make a mistake, I eat it, and like play again. This is like, I'm spending good money here to try to really make the most that I can ticket-wise, and make the most, tickets for my dollar here. So when the game malfunctions, it really hinders the overall experience. And this is not the first time this has happened at an arcade. At a local arcade, the machine does the same thing, where you hit too high up on the button and it just doesn't register the input for some reason, so you really need to hit right on the face of it, or even closer to you, which I don't understand. It's a game with one button. You really just need to make sure that the one button works. Like, it is just imperative that that one button works. Not a big deal. We'll play it again. I go to swipe my credit, or my credit card, whatever, and I hit start, and then it takes away the credit, and it just says player one ready, and it goes to the screen like it's going to start, and it doesn't start, and the game just freezes like that, which I don't know if I've ever seen before. Very weird. So I go up to ask for help, and the kid behind the counter doesn't really seem to know what to do 100%, and for the first time in my life, I see him, he has like a clipboard, and he writes down flying tickets on the clipboard, and then starts writing like the refund that he's going to give me in terms of credit. And like, I think they needed to write like what happened or something too. It was like a log that they had to fill out. Like, at my local arcade, if one of the machines doesn't work, I go up to them and I just say like, hey, this machine just ate a couple of my credits or whatever. They go, oh, which one, how much was it? And they just are like completely like easiest thing in the world to just put the credits back on my card and be like, no problem, sorry that happened. But here, the manager comes over and he asks what happened. I explain it to him and he goes, how many times did it happen? And I said twice, once for the button malfunction and then once now that the game's frozen. I didn't say it like that. I just said, oh, it took a couple of my credits. And he's looking at his monitor and he just goes, yeah, I only see on here that it didn't pay out for one time. He like hard called me out that it almost seemed like it was my fault or I was lying or something. It just gave me such a negative feeling of like, damn, dude, I'm not trying to beat you for like an extra play right now, you know what I mean? So I'm just like, yeah, now it's frozen, and there was one other time the button malfunctioned. And I go on to say that it happens at my local arcade too. I think it's just something with the top part of the button and whatnot. And he kind of stares at the screen for a second, and then he's like, yeah, because of the payout and stuff, I'm just going to give you the credit for the one. And I'm like, dude, what is happening here? Like, and he was like super serious. Like, I'm the type of person that when I'm at the arcade, I try to be, no matter where I go, not just the arcade, I try to be very friendly with everyone, especially if I'm at an arcade and I need to bother someone for something. I'm like, thank you so much for the help. Like, sorry to bother you, sorry to be a pain in the ass. Like, it's just, I'm trying to not make their lives difficult, and I understand that it's a business and that especially seeing how much they charge for the credits that they don't want to give them away for free. But it was like, I don't know, it was just like very the vibe I got was so bad. He was just like, it was like impossible to make this guy smile. And I understand you're at work. We go to the arcade to have fun. They go to the arcade to work, so it's not so much fun for them. But you still work in customer service, and I also understand that you could be having a bad day or that something's not going right in your life, so I try not to judge. But when I'm at work, I try to really stop at nothing, and right now I'm working in customer service again, something I never thought I would be doing. And when I have to talk to someone, like, they're gonna get the best out of me every time, even if I am feeling in a bad mood, like, I'm never gonna treat them like that or be rude to them. And this guy was just like a sourpuss, and it was just like so, I don't know. It was just a really negative experience in that moment, but not a huge deal. Not a huge deal. No problem. Just give me the credit for the game being frozen. Him and a game technician go over to the game and look at it. They reset it. They both play on two-player mode. And I wouldn't call it playing. They didn't even get to like 10 pipes, but they're like, okay, it's all set. So I'm like, all right, cool. So the high score thing, the target number to beat went to 98, and I'm like, alright, I don't know why when they reset it went to that, but whatever. So I swipe my card. At some point at around 40 or 50, the game freezes again, causing me to die, and I'm like, dude, this is getting so aggravating. This is supposed to be like, I guess nothing's guaranteed. Nothing's supposed to be anything. So I could have went there and they may have not even had the flying tickets machine. You know what I mean? So the fact that it was there and the jackpot was 1,000, it was like too good to be true. And that turns out to be correct because then I'm like, for the first time, I go to the two-player side, which is the red bird, which is inherently more difficult because that bird is a little bit further right, and the pipes are coming from the right side of the screen, so you have less time to react. So you always want to be player one when you're playing this game. So I'm like, let's see if I could do it with player two. The target number to beat is 98. I get to 112, and I'm like, all right, sick, we did it. And then it doesn't give me the jackpot, doesn't give me the 1,000 tickets. I don't even know if it gave me the 112 tickets. I think it did. I'm like, dude, forget this. Like, I go back up to the counter, the kid's standing there, I explain to him what happened, he looks at the screen, he's just like, yeah, it says you got 102. I'm like, I don't care what that says, like, it doesn't even matter, because you can keep the 10 tickets, even though I got 112. I got over 98, I'm supposed to have 1,000 ticket jackpot. Like, this is not supposed to be, like, this difficult. You guys are making this, the machine doesn't work, I get it, and, like, you guys are just like almost like making me feel like it's my fault for it, not giving me my credits back while the machine is like acting up. It's clearly on your guys' half, but I'm being like, I just feel like the whole experience, I'm not saying they're blaming me for it, but their lack of empathy was just very disheartening. That's how I want to put it, and I'm sorry I'm babbling so much and this video is getting completely out of control from all the good stuff, but that's how the day started. This was like, we got there, it was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be so sick, and then I hit the jackpot a couple times. I'm like, this is literally gonna be so like 10 out of 10 craziest arcade experience ever. And then it got like so bad in the customer service and the manager, like he comes over again the second time when all this is happening, and he says like the same thing, and I'm just like adamant at this point where I'm just like, you guys basically like owe me the 1,000 tickets. Like, this is crazy that your machine's messing up. You think that I'm over here potentially like lying to you about what's happening. I'm not. Your game is freezing and crashing. You don't want to give me the credits. That's scummy on you, but like, just do what's right, please, you know? So I didn't say it to him exactly like that. Clearly, I'm nicer than that. I think, you know, when I'm talking to someone, but my tone was different, and I was like kind of pissed off. He gives me the 1,000 tickets, doesn't give me any credits back for the other missed games, so I'm like, whatever. They decide to put the machine as out of order. I'm like, I wasn't gonna play it again anyway, I don't think, because I'm just like losing money at this point. So total, I'm at about 3,500 tickets, and I spent maybe like, I don't know, $8, $10, something like that, which is really good because the tickets will get you pretty far. But it did leave a very bad taste in my mouth, and it wasted like the first half hour of the day when the bar was set. Just, it was already like a 10 out of 10, and then it just went right down with all that, and I was like, man, like, the vibe of the arcade is supposed to be a really friendly, fun place, and these guys are just like really killing the vibe. No matter, let's make the most of it and try to win some plushies. So here we are, mini little claw machine. I see people win these endlessly online. I see a little Pac-Man Ghost one. I'm like, yo, these are sick. Alright, if I can get like 10 of these, definitely worth $1 a play. I double tap a little too early and I don't win. Then he falls out of play. So I'm like, alright, I'll go for this pink one. Ongoing theme. I grab the wrong side of the box. I still grab him, but he doesn't stay in, little pinky. Maybe it's a girl, I'm not sure. I whiff that and knock it out of play, so that machine's kind of shot. 0 for 3. $3 down, should be an easy one. Good double tap. Boom, falls right out. Not that strong. 0 for 4. Let's try it again. Grab the wrong side of the chute again. Should still have it though. Boom, 0 for 5. Let's go for this adorable little cat or dog in a boba. Grab the wrong side of the machine again. 0 for 6. Let's get the right side of the machine. Boom, 0 for 7. $7 down. Forget it. Haven't tried one of these UFO claws before where you don't necessarily grab the plush, but you have to do different things with the UFO claw itself. And in these, you just have to push down on the right spot of the plushie and knock it into the chute. Seems simple enough. And on my second try, I actually got this Rilakkuma to fall in a pretty good spot. So the first guy, I didn't have a shot. This one, I'm like, alright, the arms open up to about where the elbow, and a little bit further than that is. So you just have to keep that in mind. And luckily, this claw went so far down. Boops him on the head. Wasn't even the claw, it was like the thing above it. And I get a prize. So we're good. So I go to this panda, try to win another one, poke him like right in the eye. Not even close. You have to really account for how wide those claws are going to open, so you don't want to go too far. Saw this adorable green monster, and actually got him on my first try. That was a big win, so now I'm like, alright, we good. We're winning plushies. We're feeling good. I'm going to go for this adorable cat in a boba. I think I went too far here. And you could see, yeah, you really, when those arms open up, you want to just really take that into account and go, is a little, sometimes it's like very easy to just line it up incorrectly. Sometimes you just have to tap the left or right button and, yeah, then just go up accordingly. In here I'm playing a claw machine. Good grab, but not even close to being strong enough. Caught the tail end of this other Rilakkuma UFO win that I was very happy to get. Again, just I really found myself enjoying these, even though I didn't win this one, where you just have to take into account where that arm's going to be once it extends. So you just tap left or right, just like that, just a little bit, and then gauge the up accordingly, try to find a good spot. For some reason, this one did not go far down at all. I feel like if it did, it actually probably would have gotten that guy, but some of the machines are different. So now let's go to what killed me, this adorable little cat, dog, fox. I think it's a fox. My girlfriend says she thought it was a cat, kind of looks like a dog. Um, I was sucked into this trying to win this guy, and it was about $2 a play. So I'm about $8 deep right now, and it's just killing me because it looks like it's getting a little stronger. It looks like it may have them, and I see people on TikTok and stuff like they say, oh, I watched this person play this claw machine a bunch of times. They didn't win. Then I walked up to it and won because it was ready to pay out. And I'm like, I don't want to be that schmuck that plays it a bunch of times and then just walks away. And I'm like $20 deep, and then someone else gets it off my dime. So I'm like, I have to. I'm committed. I'm literally committed to this creature. I have to keep playing until I get it. And my friend was like, let the claw get entirely still, and then maybe you'll be able to get it. And now I'm literally like $22 deep, 24, 20. I don't know. I'm deep with this guy, but it finally gets strong enough to get him, and I get my fox. And now I'm like, alright, I got a bunch of plushies. I'm like, alright, we're okay. If we can get some, maybe one more, get some cool stuff out of the redemption area, that'd be sick. Adorable little cat and a boba. Never played this game before. You just have to get that box into the drop zone. I say just like it's easy, but it's very difficult. As you could see, I actually moved it in the wrong way, so I tried it one more time. Figure if you just lift it up from the back, it should kind of slide it down a little bit and then maybe make it easier. I thought I was going to do it right there, but those bars get in the way, and then yeah, that's a difficult one. That was a difficult one. I didn't want to commit too much to it. This one, you just have to stop it on each of those red. Okay, it's already gone. You just have to time it right, but I feel like if you look at that third play in slow motion, it was kind of jumpy. I don't know. I think that game probably has a payout too. Another UFO fail. Probably could have won that one if I played it properly. And then went to these little boba cats. Really wanted to win one for my girlfriend. We like boba a lot, and it was adorable, and I couldn't win a bigger one, so I said, let me try. Now, at the beginning of the day, I used I used all my money, the rest of whatever I had left on that machine, so I flew through 777 chips, and then I used my last play on that little popsicle animal penguin thing, whatever it was. Didn't get a good grab on it, didn't come close to it. When we first got there, there was a card sitting on one of the claw machines, like a card that you could use, a round one gaming card. And we picked it up and we're like, oh man, what do we do with this? Do we turn it in? We decided to sit on it for a little bit. We checked, had one play on it, had 9.6 credits, and had 400 tickets on it or something. So we were like, alright, let's, sit on it, let's not do anything with it yet. And then after everything that happened with the manager, the employee, I thought to myself, these guys probably aren't even going to give it back. If someone tries to claim it, be like, hi, I lost a card, they're going to be, do you know how much is on it? And if the people say, no, I'm not sure, they're going to be like, alright, well, sorry, they took enough of my credits and they were rude and stuff, and I was like, I don't want to do a customer or another person dirty, but these people are, I don't know, I don't trust them, so better in my pocket than in theirs. And I don't know if that's the right judgment call or not. I mean, it had 9.8 chips on it, and it had 450 tickets on it, so I do feel badly that those people lost it. Maybe I'll give the tickets to someone or donate some money to charity or something to try to make it even. But I mean, we got there right in the morning. We were probably the first ones there, so I don't even know if those people probably left it the night before, and I don't think they were gonna get it back. I don't know. After what happened with the manager, the employee, I really didn't trust him enough to do that. So I took matters into my own hands and I played it. Just one play, just enough for one final shot at that little cat in the boba, and I actually won. So that kind of made me feel like things were even with the credits that they took from me with the flying tickets machine. I feel like even though I was somehow even with the arcade, someone still got beat. So maybe next time I'm at the arcade and I win a plushie from a claw machine, I'll give it to a kid or something. Unfortunately, it doesn't make it right with the people that lost the card. but I will try to pay it forward. I promise. So here's the final haul. Couple Rillakkuma plushies. The little green monster guy. I don't know where he's from, but he's adorable. The fox dog cat. The cat and the boba. I got a Cyndaquil for like, I think it was only like 2,000 tickets. And then right next to it, kind of hard to see, that My Neighbor Totoro bottle. It's adorable, and it was only 1,000 tickets. I think that's an absolute steal for something cool like that. They also had a promotion going on. If you spent $110 on the 777 credits, you could get a couple Sakura keychains, I think they are. I'm not really sure what Sakura is, but my friend signed up for it after we saw the sign, and I asked the kid, I'm like, hey, this is after everything happened, and then he gets the keychains, my friend, and I'm like, I also spent $110 on 777 tickets. Is it possible to get the keychains? And he kind of like thinks about it, and he's like, you have to sign up at the counter. And I just looked at him, and I was like, really? And then he kind of just like thought about it for a second, and then reached under the counter and got them and gave them to me. And I was like, man, thank you, I appreciate it. Like, damn, how many weird interactions and stories could come out of this arcade? So you're probably wondering where the Mario, Luigi, and the Mario and the Yoshi plush come from. That's some bonus footage coming at you, because then we went to a little strip mall, and there was a little claw machine in there, and I wanted to give it a shot because I just had luck with a Super Mario Maker plush machine at a different mall. Humongous Yoshi in the Cut the Rope game wasn't even touched, so I was not about to play that, but I wanted to see if this claw was strong, and I need to say, the year is 2024. This is probably the most legit claw machine I've played in since returning to arcades. This was all business, this claw. No BS at all. You line it up. It was a little hard to line up. It wasn't like the precision was kind of like a D or a C. It wasn't like great, but still good enough. But when you drop that sucker down, it went straight down. It wasn't like music and a slow build up and it comes up and then drops. It was like, nope, drop down, close, come back up. Either I get the prize or I don't. Look at this. Look at this grab on this Yoshi. It moved so fast, didn't give it a lot of time to fall out. It was just a no-nonsense claw. And I know once you win, the payouts probably reset, right? So you're not going to win again. But I was like, once I win, I want to try one more time because it was actually winnable. Man, I moved this Luigi. I was like, I do think this is winnable. Let me try it one more time. Let that build up, sink in. Let that sink in for a minute. Look at this claw. Look at this no-nonsense claw right here. Good grab. And just get some. I'm like $4 in, and I won 2 plushies. They're worth like $10 each. And then I went for this Donkey Kong right here. I'm like, after I almost get this Mario, but after $6, I had 4 plushies. I ended up winning 2 Marios, the Luigi, the Yoshi. Then I started going for the Donkey Kong. After the plushies are like $10 each. I was $6 deep, and I had won 4 plushies, so I put another like $5 into the machine trying to win the Donkey Kong. The peaches were buried. Unfortunately, I called it quits on the Donkey Kong, so $11 on 4 plushies that are worth about $10 each. So final math for everything, I spent about 112 at round 1, and then another 11, so 123. The Yoshi, Mario, Luigi, and Mario are 10 each, so that's 40. The Sakura keychains are 10 for the pair, so that's 50. The Cyndaquil is about 25, so that's 75. The My Neighbor Totoro bottle is about 20, so that's 95. The Rillakkuma plushies are 15 each, so that's 125. Little Boba Cat is probably about 10, so that's 135. The Fox, will call it $25, so I feel like I broke even with it, so that's 160. And the little green monster, we'll call it $20 because he's the man, so we'll call it 180. So 180 minus 123 for the cost of playing gives us a total of $57 profit. If you could call it profit, I mean, I'm going to keep a bunch of this stuff, so I kind of spent money on plushies, but if you're looking at it in terms of value, we did end up doing okay. So overall, good experience. The arcade was really cool. I want to visit a different one where the vibe might be a little bit better, but still had a blast. Overall, good experience. Really happy, thankful to be able to have gone, and very thankful to have been able to walk away with some plushies as well. So, thank you guys so much for sticking around for this very long video. More of a babbling session than getting into all the games that they had there. Maybe next time I go, I'll play more games and actually talk about them. But this was kind of just me talking about the experience as a whole and how I feel about the place. So thank you guys very much. You can follow me at ThePokeRapper on all socials, and we'll see you in the next one.